Hello. Welcome to LadyGang Quickie. I am Becca here with Jack and Kelty.
Hello.
Hey.
We are in the
back.
middle of a little bit of a LadyWorld recap. There's so much to get through, and we had to talk about Taylor Swift on Tuesday. So, welcome back.
It's very important.
And then, okay, so what I wanted to say, hello. We had LadyWorld. Thank you for coming. I just have so many things to say. I was just so happy to be there and the joy. And I think I've been trying to think about when we think about LadyWorld, or even with the LadyGang, how does our joy, what caused all of that joy at LadyWorld? I know people were with their friends and they're solo, and yes, we planned it perfectly because we're amazing, but what is the joy? And I think it was because there are so few things that we do in life without the male gaze. I know this is a very strange thing to bring up, but even at LadyGang shows, people do bring their boyfriends and their husbands. So there's always some guys in the audience. Now, I made Chris Knight host the husband hangout. And I can tell you that the only people there were, I think, Bill, my dad, my brother, Chris, and one guy. So they're just
so funny. No, nobody brought their husband, or very few women.
Different. And if they did, sometimes we met the girl in the coffee shop. I was like, oh, we'll see you at the show. And he's like, no, I'm not coming in. I'm just staying at the hotel. So it was different than anything we've done before.
Yeah.
And I think it was so freeing because it was those girls' trips when you go to Vegas and you guys are on the hotel room at 3 a.m. and you're just in your sweatpants and your old mascara and you're just being real and you don't have to worry. There was no worry about what you looked cute because you wanted to look cute for your own pictures or whatever, but there was no male gaze. I know. Is that super feminist of me?
No, it's literally
sense. It's like a sleepover. It's how girlies feel when they're having a sleepover, period.
It's also when the boy band is playing, you're dancing like a maniac because you're not worried about what guys are going to see you dancing or you're just not worried about appearing, quote, attractive. Because even as a married woman, if I'm at a concert and I want to act like an absolute psycho, I'm not, because I don't want the guys in there to be like, who's this old crazy bitch? I just want to feel free the way that you do at your sleepovers.
Yeah. And it was I didn't care when I was in the pit if I had BO. I didn't care. If I literally at one point was running around in a Fabletics onesie and a pair of flip-flops. And I was just I don't fucking care right now. I mean, it was just so freeing. And the thing that made me so proud is that in so much of the feedback we got, the word people used was safe. And they were just I felt really safe. I felt really safe. I'm we were in a giant field in a strange city. We had people from 39 states, 4 countries flying. It was thousands of strangers. And the fact that everyone felt safe. And then I was I got kind of introspective about it. And I was what does that say about our regular life? And what we deal with on a daily basis at work, in our lives, in our marriages, in our relationships, that everyone was I haven't had this much fun in years. I'm what the are we doing with our lives?
I know.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is that too, where it's the world is dark right now. Shit's fucking hard. Everybody is going through something. And it was I think everybody went into that weekend with the same mindset of I need this. I need girlhood. I need to be around other female energy. And I just want to have a good time. And that just emanated through every single thing that we did. It was so, I still am mind blown. And I ruminate over any big life thing that happens to me. I can't stop thinking about my wedding without being I want to change this and this and that, every single thing like that. And I ended LadyWorld and I'm flawless, no notes. Even if it just was so weird. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Why?
I have some notes, but
better not be about me.
It's because we're never doing it again, so we don't have to think about what we would have changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I want to do it again, but that's just me.
You do not. You do?
Yes, I do. How could we never feel like that again? It's so crazy to be to have that experience and create that experience for thousands of women and be no thanks. Let's not even try to make that a thing again.
The only way I would ever do it again is if we put it on sale and we sold enough tickets off the bat to know we were gonna be able to pay for what we wanted to create and not have to worry about the ticket sales. because that was the hardest part for me. Like, because we had a level of tickets we needed to sell in order to be able to afford the tent and the things on the beach and the sound systems and all that stuff. And then, the sponsors and all that stuff. And it was just so much pressure to sell that it took a lot of the joy out of it, even though, and like, that to me was like so much pressure that if we could put it on sale and have everyone be like, okay, I'm signing up. Like, how when the Tesla went on sale, everyone put themselves on the wait list and you're like, we don't have all the information. We're not exactly sure when, but like put your deposit down that you want to make this happen. And knowing that some people would probably have to pull out if it ended up on a day of the wedding or a wedding or something like that. But like something like that, where you could be like, okay, these are the 2,000 people that are coming and we know they're coming. Then I think that would be different. But like, anyway, we're never doing it again. Becca, what was your like moment of the weekend where you were like, oh yeah.
In a green room taking my hair extensions out, I was overstimulated at that point.
Okay.
That was when I was like, I was so excited for them to go out, and I could still hear them from the green room that I was in. But I went out to the pit for like 30 seconds, and I just was like, I can't. I've literally maxed out of my energy, my ability to be around other people. And so I went and I sat and I just took out my hair extensions. They were not clip-ins, by the way.
A relief.
They were fully taped in.
They were taped in, glued in,
taped in and sewn in.
Oh my gosh,
Jessie. So for those of you who didn't go and didn't see it on Instagram, the Mormon housewife, Jessie, who we love so much, she came with her family and they were so lovely. The nicest people ever. The whole family came because she had a booth there and she was selling.
That's why she's so fucking
That's why
cool
she's
too.
So sweet, because she does a family. Yeah. She put in these gorgeous extensions in my hair that should still be in. Like they would have lasted for weeks. But I just, when you just get to that point, I was ready to disrobe, dismantle, and
You're
disengage.
ready to take the Becca Tobin off and just go through what you had to go through.
Yeah.
Well, the life of the showgirl was show over.
Yeah. Show over. But I would say Friday, or maybe Saturday, because I had a little anxiety about seeing podcasts in that space and stand up and anything other than music in such a big open field is such a different vibe. And I was worried that people weren't going to want to pay attention because it's like, it's weird. But when I saw everybody locked in on like Stassi's thing and then with Hannah and with Justin and Rachel, like the way that Justin and Rachel brought that energy up in that crowd was wild. And I just at that point was able to breathe a sigh of relief thinking these girls are here to have fun and enjoy whatever programming we have to offer. I didn't have to worry about us not having learned all the choreography from Backstreet's Back and dressing up. We had a lot of gimmicks. That's my biggest regret is that I did not have time.
Thank God.
If we do it again, Jack, that is the caveat. We will be performing Backstreet's Back.
I mean, I'll be standing there. I refuse to dance.
I know. But that was it for me, just hearing people enjoy themselves because I didn't think that they were going to.
I love that.
Jack, you get 5. What are yours?
No, mine was definitely my paint and sip classes. Like I went into that, and this is again, I think with how that went, I think I felt so good about it is I kind of just went in. I'm like, I'm going to wing it. And I never wing anything. I usually like replay things in my head. I'm like, how am I going to do this and this and that? And I sort of went in and I'm like, I'm just going to see where the vibe takes me. And number one, so I did 3 classes, 250 people signed up for each one. There wasn't an empty seat in any of those classes. Girls showed up to every single one, even on Sunday when you're hungover and you don't want to get out of bed. Like those girls showed up and it was just the coolest experience ever. I told my mom, I'm like, I think I'm going to bring you on stage to just like paint yours so you can kind of show everybody like how you're doing. But then we ended up chatting, my mom and I, and just about how, she's brought art into her life recently and like what it means for her. And, the messaging was kind of like, it's never too late to kind of dive into something that makes you happy. It was honestly very beautiful. And I didn't rehearse it with my mom, and she's such a good public speaker that I never knew about. And it was just amazing seeing all of the girls. We drew this really cute sun and everybody's different variations of it. And like everybody really felt like an artist afterwards. And it's just honestly exactly what I want to put out in the universe. And it went it exceeded my expectations. Like it was so wonderful. No notes
That's cool.
again.
Very
And
cool.
Michael's just the best. I mean,
Wow,
dream
talk about a partnership from just made in the stars.
I know. And the Michaels girls were there and they were so sweet. And so the head girl at Michaels that we were talking to, her sister was getting married that weekend. So she couldn't come, but she was walking down the aisle to a main song.
Which is so crazy.
Full circle moment. So Jared made her a video like congratulating them on their wedding and stuff. So it was just so beautiful.
Do you remember when we went on the stage with the main?
And then that was another one when Kelty and so John told me before they went on, he's like, I need to pull Kelty up on stage for Girls Do What They Want. They always pull like somebody from the audience to sing along. And I was like, okay. So you probably didn't even notice, but I was like following you around like a hawk.
I thought you just wanted to be my friend.
No, I'm like, I can't lose sight of her when it's time to go. So then they started the song and I don't think John saw us.
No, and you were like, ah!
He pulled, I think her name was Anna, another one of the ladies, because he couldn't find us. So he's like, okay, you come up. And I'm like, John, we're right here. We're right in the front. And then
How
sees
dare
Kelty,
you not see this Fabletics green onesie?
pulls Kelty on stage. And then I'm like, cool, I did it. And John's like, no, you're coming on stage too. And I was like, God damn it. And you could hear him saying, he's like, this is Jack's worst nightmare. Jack, this is your nightmare. Welcome to your nightmare.
So funny.
And then I went on the drums. And people
You did
were
go
like,
on the drums.
Jack afterwards goes, I didn't know you'd be good at drums. I was like, obviously I'm great at everything. Yeah, you did.
I did.
Or someone
Were you
did.
good at them?
Yeah, I was amazing. I have rhythm. I was a tap dancer, like 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
It was actually
I've got
shocking.
the beat.
It was shocking that you took to the drums. Like
Yeah.
out of all, I would think you would just grab the microphone.
I'm the Travis Barker of this.
That is very
The
true.
coolest, vibiest one.
Are we going to address Kelty's meltdown that she did have Friday night? Because I think
I think I had a meltdown each night.
Because of the rain?
Know. Saturday, did you have a meltdown?
I mean, I was melting down all over the place, but maybe I was trying to hide it from you.
Friday, no, you actually cried. You only cried one day of sadness.
Of the rain.
The rain.
Right?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
So the rain starts and it's just, we all have different ways of dealing with our stress and emotions, right? I pretty much just go silent and do nothing because there is nothing to be done or do or whatever. Jack is also sort of in the same boat where maybe you're a little more active in your anxiety about what's happening. Yeah. We're all like the levels. And then Kelty is sobbing like there has been a death. Like when that rain came down, it was hyperventilation.
Yes.
Chris is consoling you.
Yes.
You're pacing. You're looking for someone to be mad at. But unfortunately, there was no one to be mad at.
Yeah, there was no one to blame except for God himself.
You were like, and you were, I mean, and Raina and Ashley were standing there because they were next up and they were like, is she okay? And I go, this is totally normal. This was expected. This was the forecast of this was accurate, So it was so funny. But then you really got to see Chris. We've always known Chris is the perfect man for you. We've always known that, like, really he brings something to the table that you always need. It's that grounding force, the calmness. But we really got to experience it because he was in charge of a lot of this weekend, especially during the show. And he was on the side of the stage that you were melting down. And he handled it so well. He was sweet, but he was also like, this is what it is. We're everything's going to be okay. Like, he didn't make you feel silly. He definitely, it was cute to watch. And there's a really cute picture of him like patting you on your alligator head while you're crying.
God.
And then I tried to walk to the back and look out over the back so that no one would see me cry. But then I was just standing there and it was like out of a rom-com. And you're like, are you okay? And I'd be like, yes. But then I turn my snout.
In the rain.
Oh
In the rain.
God.
It
But
was great.
I think it was the release of it, like it all. And,
Yes.
you know, I hadn't slept because our last it was emotional. Ended Wednesday night. I got on the red eye. I thought I was going to sleep on the red eye. I was too nervous. I couldn't. I got there. I thought, I'm going to nap for a few hours and we'll meet at noon and start working. We started working at 8 a.m. We didn't finish until 8 p.m. Then I thought, I'll get a good night's sleep before LadyWorld. 3 o'clock
No
in the
way.
morning, Jack and I are on Instagram being like, I'm up. And she's like, I'm up too. And I'm like, well, I guess I just woke up in the middle of the night and just started my day. Like I hadn't slept in like 2 days. So it was like a release and exhaustion, craziness. But like, man, oh man, it was really cool. I also, on Sunday, Caitlin performing. First of all, I love how funny Gina was. You guys got to hear her on last week's podcast. Like, I'm so glad we did because her set is incredible. Chicks in the Office were so good, and they're so good at doing live shows. I'm like, oh, you guys really are so much better than us. But watching Caitlin like sing on stage and was so nervous. She did such a good job. And everyone was so supportive. And everyone was like, you can do it. I was like, this is like the best talent show of all time. But my moment of the weekend was definitely Saturday night. I had danced my ass off in the pit to all the boy bands. And I was exhausted. Like I didn't know how I was going to even walk into our townhouse. And Chris was driving me home in the golf cart. I have like 700 bags of costumes and shit. And we drive by the Whale's Tail and I can see that the Taylor Swift sing-along is happening. And I really wanted, this whole time we planned it, I wanted to go. Emily Bass was there singing. And I was like, I really want to go to the Taylor Swift sing-along. But like, I knew it'd be a shit show, but also like, I was so tired. I was like, I have to sleep. I've got a manifesting class at 8 a.m., you know? And I was like, the lights were going and I could hear them singing. I was like, Chris, you have to stop. And he's like, do you need to see it? I was like, I need to see it. So he like pulls a U-turn. We like pull into Whale's Tail. I'm in my Spice Girls costume. I run to the beach. And then like, there were so many people. I was like, how do people still have energy? How are people still awake? There was probably 500 people in a circle. They were all singing. And it was like girlhood at its finest. She was singing Lover. I stepped on the stage. We're all singing. And then my phone, I was so excited. I wanted to like take some content and whatever. And I went to like just watch Emily and I sat in the front row with these girls. My phone was full. When's the last time your iPhone's ever been full?
Oh my gosh.
I took so many pictures and videos at LadyWorld that my iPhone wouldn't take anymore. And I was like, So I turned, I was like, I just really want some of this. And I like literally was giving my phone number out to people being like, can you text me that video? Like it was just so cool. And that was one of those things that was crowdsourced by the LadyGang. It was like 4 weeks ago. A girl wrote me on Instagram, was like, hey, I was just at this party and this girl was doing a Taylor Swift sing-along and she was so good and she lives in Destin. You should get her. And that's how we reached out to Emily. So it was actually like a LadyGanger's idea. She was so sweet and so cool and like, I just loved it. I thought that was so cool. That's the thing about if we ever did it again, it was like, how do we even recreate these moments? Because they were just so special. It's like, what karaoke song do we possibly sing that could be better than Torn? Like it's just impossible to even think of
Your
one.
choices for karaoke were interesting because I feel like there were better choices.
For sure.
For sure.
Wait, can we talk about Pop 2K? Because I have like 3 stories that were mind-blowing to me. So obviously we met everybody backstage before, and which was like the best moment of my life because we like had to get pictures with them for Shutterstock.
We're like, we hired you, so come on. I mean, we didn't have to. Those pictures are going nowhere.
Had to, quote unquote.
Well, they did go on online, but you know.
So we're like taking pictures with everybody, and there's 3 things of note. Number 1, Chris Kirkpatrick is like the sweetest guy in the world.
Ever.
And when I was talking to him, I'm like, this dude knows what you want to hear. And that is like exclusive stories. So we were like talking about, I don't know, being in an airport or something like that. And he's like, oh, you know what this reminds me of? He's like, back in like 1998, We were on our first tour ever.
Becca and I just went forward. We're like, what?
Tell me more.
He's like, back in like 1998, we were on our first tour. And guess who we ran into at the airport? 5 British young girls on their first tour. We were both undiscovered at the same. And he does this whole story about how NSYNC and the Spice
I
Girls
was
met for the
there.
first time. Remember that story?
Yes, it was before either of them blew up.
Yeah. And he's like telling us this story. And I'm like, I don't even remember what the question was.
You're like in pop culture lore.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, and then he did something else too, where it's like, maybe he said something about Justin, or he's like, he knows that you want like some inside scoop, which is not inside scoop because he probably says it to like everybody, but like, it makes you feel like you're getting like these exclusive stories. And I'm like, that guy knows what he's doing. And he's so nice. So nice.
So sweet.
The second story was, so after the show, Ryan Cabrera was like just kind of getting all of his stuff together, and we're walking, and he stops Jared and he's like, oh, hey man, I just wanted to say thank you so much for like all of your help tonight, yada, yada, yada. And Jared goes, I'm not the guy that you think I am. Because there was like an AV guy that was working LadyWorld that had long, like strawberry blonde hair. He looked like he could be Jared's brother. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. And then they just ended up getting to talking, and we're like broing down for like a half an hour. Cute. Jared and his band like loved this random deep cut Ryan Cabrera song, and they played it over and over again like 10 years ago when they were working on one of their records. And so Jared was like spilling his guts to Ryan about this song, and then they ended up exchanging numbers. Ryan invited us to his show. Like it was like a whole to do, and I thought he's so sweet. Everybody's so nice. And then the last thing that happened is I chowed down with Mark McGrath. He is like my best friend now. I think he might be my favorite person in the world. What, Kelty?
I'm jealous. It's jealousy on my face.
No, he is so funny. Again, a guy that knows exactly what you want to hear. Yeah. Like you could tell when he was performing at LadyWorld, he was just so funny. He's like, yeah, welcome this people's sexiest man of 1997 to the stage. And then he kept being like, are you guys ready for another number one hit from me from 1998? He was so funny. But anyways, we ended up exchanging information, and I'm here to say that Mark McGrath has, Becca, you'll like this, an AOL email address.
Wow.
It's not just you.
No, wow. What a star. I knew it.
Such a treat. It was incredible. My best friend Katie was there from school, and I like looked at her and we just like could not believe our luck. I was like, this is what are high school us thinking right now? Like in the pizza parlor listening to Sugar Ray, like what? It was crazy. But first of all, I think they really had a good time because the energy was amazing. Yeah. But now I find myself, I don't know if this is like a normal, if anyone else is feeling this way. So Pop 2K is like the tour, and it's all these guys, and they tour around, and they do this like 100 times a year. But I felt like our show was special, and I felt like they were really into it, and they were hot and they're sweaty, and O-Town was like really dancing. And I was like, I really thought that they loved us, and it was the most special show they've ever done. And then I'm watching them on Instagram, and they're like doing the show all the time. They're like, thank you, Washington. And I was like,
you were jealous.
Like, I'm jealous of the other Pop 2K. And I'm like, well, they're lying. There's no way that they liked Washington as much as they liked us. Like,
they probably did like us a lot more, because what other audiences are all women? I don't think the events they're getting hired for are all female events. What all female events even are there?
I mean, their concert. Because they just do their own show. Like it'll be like a Pop 2K tour. So it is probably mostly women.
I guess you're right. I was just thinking of when they get hired.
I just felt really special.
For like a corporate event.
I know. I did get a note from their manager, and they were so sweet, and they were like, this was so well run, and we weren't, it was kind of a backhanded compliment. He was like, we knew it was a first year festival, so we're expecting it to be kind of a shit show, and it wasn't, basically. And he was like, it was incredibly well done, and you're used, like, and I was like, thank you. That is so lovely. So I
will say too that nobody works harder than O-Town. O-Town, like Pop 2K they are Pop 2K. They carry everything. They are dancing at 100%. They are singing at 100%. So sexual. They're giving their all. Like they held that night on their backs.
Is LFO the ones that have 3 dead members?
too.
So Devin
And
was
oh
there.
my God, it was
And
such
he's so sweet too.
so emotional. They do this. So I guess that they do it more at their own shows. So he comes out and performs his couple songs, but he was the guy that was like the rapper in LFO. Like he wasn't a singer. And so
I know because I
O-Town's
told him his voice was so amazing after the show, and he was like, "You're not talking about me." And I was like, "No, I just watched you. It was incredible." But it was the O-Town guy does it. My
no,
bad.
yeah. So the O-Town guys like fill in the parts, but when he comes out, he brings this microphone and
With
it
the
has like 2
shoes.
pairs of shoes on it, like representing
the
his
guys.
other members. And
And
it was
they-
like it was an emotional experience. And I think when they do their tour, he kind of like gives a little bit of a
does more
speech
of a
about it
more of a
and
shush.
stuff.
We didn't
Yeah,
have time
but
for that. We had Mark McGrath.
we
He
had
was
Mark
an
McGrath.
add-on.
It was, yeah, but it was very.
We got a la carte Mark McGrath. Anyway, it was the f***ing best of all
was
time.
best.
And here's what we need you to do. Lady Gang, I have a big favor to ask. We focused so hard this year on LadyWorld. We have done it. We are back to our podcasting roots. And I need your marketing help. You guys can leave if you want, if you're embarrassed. We are ready to dive into our next 10 years of LadyGang. And I need you to remind your friends. I need you to take this episode or post or a Meme Monday or whatever and be like, here's the link, listen to this episode. Because we want to continue to be the best podcast of all time. And we have the best community. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, we spent a lot of time hawking tickets to LadyWorld, and now that that's over, I just want to continue to build the podcast and like really get our community out there because I think it's so special. I don't really know how to do that, so let us know.
I don't either.
Same.
But I think people just sharing episodes. I mean, not this one because it's very inside baseball. But if there's an episode you love, or someone's like, "What podcast do you listen to?" or whatever, like, help us out. Like, word of mouth is like the most powerful thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's true. Or if you have friends that stopped listening for one reason or another, let us know the reason. We probably have already changed it.
Yeah,
We're
Exactly.
constantly
Tell them.
evolving.
I've changed my whole
And then you can
personality.
say, don't worry, you can come back and listen.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they don't eat on the
Mhm.
podcast anymore.
They don't even snack.
I did last week, but that's okay. Just one
It's okay.
off.
Just one bite, one tiny bite.
One bite.
Tiny bite. Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
What?
Last thing. We have a new outro. Okay. So basically we did
No,
go,
but for regular episodes, I thought.
For a
We can
regular
do it
episode.
regular. So this
Okay,
is
we'll do it
not-
next
this is
week.
a quickie.
But should we
Okay.
tell them when they hear it next week what it is?
When you hear it next week, basically for allegedly what's happening, Cardi B got interviewed by Gayle King and she said, do you subscribe to when they go low, we go high? And Cardi said, no, I go to hell where the lava at. And it is now our new sign off. So
Is
it's
it
like,
though? How are we doing it?
I'm not sure, but like,
I don't know if we need this.
We need a new sign off for sure. See you next Tuesday. I don't want to do anymore. Too many people use it.
I know.
Should we crowdsource what we need to do?
Yeah.
what is
I
our
think that's a good
new
idea.
sign off? I do like where the lava at, but then it's
That
like it
doesn't
makes no
make
sense if you don't
sense.
know the story.
And like not everybody was at Lady World. We need to workshop this. Let us
Let
know.
us know. Okay.
Okay.
In the
We were here
meantime,
for a long time.
we're here for a good time.
Have a good time.
Lava.